Hi, and welcome to the Results Positive QA Technology Talks. This is Series 3, and my name is Matt Anger. I'll be hosting today's session. Today we're going to be speaking about how HP Mobile Center and UFT work together. We're also going to briefly touch upon how Mobile Center integrates with some of the other flagship HP products, such as ALM, network virtualization, and other tools that might be in your ecosystem. I'm joined today by our Senior Solution Architect, Angel Tran. He'll be actually providing the quick demo of how Mobile Center and UFT can work together. Our agenda today, I'm going to introduce myself and Angel. We're going to speak about Mobile Center and UFT and why it matters to you. I'm going to talk about a quick industry analysis as well and some of the statistics that we gleaned from the World Quality Report. We'll get into the live demo, and then at the end we're going to close off with some of the service offerings that ResultsPositive can offer to your organization. ResultsPositive was founded in 2004. We are a Platinum HP partner focused on improving business execution. We pioneered the Rapid Start implementation approach for HP Quality Center, ALM, Performance Center, Mobile Center, UFT, and Agile Manager. And we've been recognized by HP as a leader in delivering better business results for our customers. We are also an HP AS/MPS support provider, along with HP Partner of the Year, many years running. Over to the right, you can see some of our notable customers down here. We work with over 200 customers globally. Angel Tran has about 15 years of industry experience in both IT and quality assurance. He's HP Expert 1 certified in several testing products. In his downtime, he likes to sing and learn about cutting-edge technologies. I have about 15 years of IT and quality assurance experience as well. I'm also an HP Expert 1 certified professional in ALM and UFT. I enjoy boating, deep sea fishing, running, and biking. So what are today's mobile challenges? Some of the research that we've done at ResultsPositive indicates that over 80% of internet users own a smartphone. What this means is that consumers demand native mobile apps. A responsive website design is just not enough. There's a quote that you've probably heard before: you can run, but you can't hide. And this quote rings especially true when it comes to poor software quality in today's market. Consumers really do have the upper hand in that they can submit reviews instantaneously, and those reviews are made available to the public. These instant feedback loops make it imperative that your organization has the checks and balances internally and an integrated QA tools strategy. Some of the technical challenges that your firm might be facing are a lack of a comprehensive tool strategy. You may also lack a mobile device testing lab. Some of the other challenges that we've seen and have also been noted in the World Quality Report published by HP and Capgemini is that there is a proliferation of device types, as we know. Operating system versions and network conditions across the globe that vary greatly from one geographic region to the next. Over here to the right, you can see how Mobile Center could work within the confines of your QA tools environment. You see Mobile Center here can integrate with a number of different HP tools that you might already have invested in, such as ALM and Quality Center, or perhaps HP Sprinter, even network virtualization. Going back to my point here, the variability of network conditions across the globe really necessitates the need for something such as network virtualization that allows you to throttle between different network conditions and test your mobile app accordingly. Mobile Center, of course, also integrates with UFT, or HP Unified Functional Testing, allowing you to automate some of your more critical tests that you want to run over your mobile applications as you introduce changes. It also integrates with Load Runner and Performance Center, as well as AppPulse. So why do we test? This question is very general. If you ask this question to a QA manager, you might get one response. If you ask it to a CFO, you'll get another. If you ask it to the CIO, you'll get another. What the World Quality Report did, though, is it distilled it down to 3 testing objectives for high-level executives within organizations. If you're a high-level executive within an organization, these are probably the 3 buckets that you're most concerned with. One being to protect your corporate image. the brand reputation that you have built over the years and protecting that from blunders in the marketplace, such as poor software quality. Another objective is really quality awareness, and sometimes this relates to your internal quality awareness programs. There's something to be said for appointing a quality assurance champion within your organization that proliferates the message, because it's not only about having a tools strategy, but it's about having your people singing from the same song sheet and having everybody aware of the importance of quality. It really becomes an internal public relations sort of campaign or marketing campaign, even internally, to proliferate the message within your organizational walls about the importance of protecting your productive environment by knowing what to test and when to test, and then adding in the tools equation to make sure that you're protecting your productive environment. And then the last bucket we see here to the right is end user satisfaction. And this really relates back to the point that we made in the prior slide about the instantaneous feedback loops. We live in a society, I shall say, of instant gratification, where consumers make decisions quickly, and there's really very little room to make it good after you've given someone a bad impression, especially with software. So it's so prevalent and it's so easy to come by in terms of mobile apps in particular. And this relates to both mobile apps for the consumers at large and mobile apps that you might have internally within your multinational organization. So as we see on this particular slide, most QA and testing development, the budgets now, are being spent on customer-facing channels. From the left to the right, you see that the World Quality Report has indicated that over 35%, or nearly 35% of budget, is being allocated to mobile and front office solutions. And then shifting from the left to the right, you can see it goes all the way back to your back office ERP. Now, if you recall 10 years ago, you would see a significant difference in this particular diagram, in that the budget allocated would be probably more so around your back office ERP. However, organizations are becoming more mature when it comes to the frameworks that they've already implemented for regression testing, as an example, around their SAP ecosystem or Oracle or PeopleSoft or whatever ERP backend system your particular organization is using. But the shift in the focus is really now going towards how can we improve our customer-facing channels. Customer-facing in that, orders coming in through your retail website, a particular app. As an example, I was at Lowe's the other day, and they introduced a new app that you can download onto your smartphone that actually gives you sort of a geographic description or a map of your particular store that you're in. So I happen to live in South Florida. The map showed the store that I was in. It detected the store I was in based on my geographic information being emitted from my cell phone, and it provided a layout of the store. And I could actually type in information in terms of what I was looking for, and it would provide me the aisle and where in that aisle that information was available. This is one example of a customer-facing application that's imperative it works properly when the consumer downloads it, because it can really degrade the experience for the consumer, which would in turn impact your brand and ultimately revenue down the line. So what we're seeing here, in our experience in helping client organizations use HP Mobile Center and do some testing across different device types, is some of the common issues. So some of the common issues that we do see is layout issues, whether that's in a native mobile app or perhaps in even a responsive design, a website design you might have for your retail application. We also see device incompatibility issues, operating system issues, of course, network issues, and some of the tools we're not going to speak about in today's QA Tech Talk, but perhaps in a future one, of how you can use network virtualization to isolate some of the issues that you may or may not encounter, depending on where your customers are accessing your mobile application. And then lastly are authentication issues that you might run into. So Obviously, the goal of using Mobile Center is to trap these defects prior to, bundling that SDK and making it available to the public via a native mobile app store, or even pushing website application changes to the public, making sure that the layout of your responsive design of your web application that the customer is going to see works properly on Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, as it relates to the different device types out there in the market today, which only continues to grow in complexity, only continues to proliferate in terms of how many device types are out there. Of course, we can dwindle the list down to the main core ones, but Mobile Center allows you to expand your footprint and increase testing coverage, because ultimately that's really what you want to do, is expand your testing coverage and trap as many defects as you possibly can. So here, this slide is really just to kind of drive home the point around the statistics that we gleaned as an organization through our research, and also through following the World Quality Report that HP publishes. One of the things that was, stood out at me is prominent and really drives home the point that you really have to take your integrated tool strategy seriously is 25% of users abandon the mobile app after just 3 seconds of delay. So that's a quarter of the people who have downloaded your app. If it delays for 2 or 3 seconds, they're done. They're closing it out. They're moving on. They're searching for another app, or they just say, forget about it. It's not worthwhile for me. Luckily, the Lowe's app that I downloaded just the other day worked flawlessly. So that was a great experience for me, and it actually elevated my perception of the Lowe's brand in general. That's typically where I go to pick up supplies if I'm doing anything around the house. So that helps out great. Another statistic that we see here is that 48% of users are less likely to use the app again. So this goes back to the point I made 2 slides ago. We live in a society, I think, of instant gratification. And there's a certain aspect of psychology that plays into how your quality assurance strategy should be laid out in your organization, understanding the psychology of the consumer. So the psychology of the consumer is really evident in this particular slide here, in that 48% of your users are less likely to use your app again if there's that 3-second delay. So this becomes even more important when you're working through your testing of mobile applications to ensure that you set proper thresholds and you measure those thresholds accordingly to ensure that given certain network conditions, you're not sacrificing users that could be using your mobile app and therefore elevating your brand in the marketplace. And the last statistic we have down here is 34% will switch to a competitor and are less likely to return. Now, I can't say personally that if the app took 4 seconds to load at Lowe's that I would have went over to Home Depot. I can't say that personally, but the research that HP has done, and it's included in the World Quality Report, is saying that 34% will switch to a competitor and are less likely to return. Now, there are factors that play into these statistics that account for the people who will return. Perhaps it's long-term customers, brand loyalty, and such. But the point remains in this particular slide that it's imperative that you have your strategy in place and you're not just throwing another mobile application testing product into the mix. You're actually looking at how that particular product integrates into your overall ecosystem. And today's focus for today's QA technology talk is just on a little sliver. We're just focused on how Mobile Center integrates with UFT and can help automate some of that mobile application testing. In future technology talks, we'll look at how Mobile Center integrates with ALM, and then how Mobile Center can integrate with network virtualization, how Mobile Center can integrate with Performance Center and Load Runner, things of that nature, to build out an integrated tool network that you have internally to ensure that whatever you have, whatever idea that your organization has on their plate, when marketing sits down and they review their agenda and say, you know what, we think the market pool is in this direction, let's explore that area. Your QA organization needs to also have a seat at that table in that discussion. Having siloed discussions within an organization and not having representatives from your QA team involved in those discussions can result in disaster down the line. It might not be so apparent right away, but the degradation of your brand in the marketplace is apparent over the course of time, especially as more and more customers run towards, pleasing the customer through customer-facing channels. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this demo or this QA Tech Talk over to Angel Tran, and he's going to provide a quick high-level demonstration of how HP Mobile Center works with UFT. And then after that demonstration, we'll take a little bit of time to speak about some of the rapid start programs that ResultsPositive has pioneered, and that you can get in touch with us to help your organization integrate Mobile Center with these other tools, and also help your organization build out a roadmap that will essentially help you achieve optimal performance in your organization. So a continuum roadmap in the sense that will help you achieve the next level of maturity and help define the steps to get to the optimal level of maturity.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, and thank you everyone for joining our web talk. So you can see, as Matt mentioned, that I'll be demoing one application that integrated with HP Mobile Center, which is the HP Unified Functional Test. And in this demo, I will show you how easily it is that you can integrate the two solutions together to do a web mobile application testing on real mobile devices. So what you see on the screen right now is the actual web server from the HP Mobile Center. It's a web URL access. You can access the Mobile Center server through your browser, and this is where you manage all your applications and your devices and your users for your testing here. As you can see, the Apps tab has displayed all the applications that is uploaded to your Mobile Center right now. And you can see the devices are connected to the Mobile Center. So currently, I have 6 real devices connected to the Mobile Center server for me to test with. So in this demo, I'll be using the Android, one of the Android device to test the mobile web application. To easily integrate the Mobile Center with UFT, you just need to launch HP Mobile Center. Launch HP UFT. Select the mobile add-in that comes with UFT 12.5 version. Once UFT launched, you need to define the actual HP Mobile Center server URL that is in the tool settings here. This is my server address and my username and password, and you can also test connection here. Make sure that the connection is good between the two systems. And once you have that defined, you can start recording your app and your test to for your mobile devices. So here I'm going to just create a demo test here. Create, and it will bring you to this screen. I'm just going to start on the recording. The record and runtime settings display allow you to choose the application to test with, which is I'm going to have the mobile web built-in mobile web browser. And I'm going to select my device from the list that I already selected here. So you can also select the options to restart the application before the recording, or you can install the application before the run, or uninstall your application after you successfully run or record your system here. So I'm just going to leave it as all default and choose to record my application. So it will bring up my devices on a kind of like a streaming panel here. It's actually launching the applications, which is the mobile web browser. And here you can start interact with the applications and record your regression test. Okay, I'm going to go to yahoo.com. You can actually type directly from your keyboard, or you can look at a keyboard here. You can select the keyboard here. Click on this icon and choose the sport page to view my sport. Got my recording here. And now you can replay back the test. You'll launch the same panel here. Sorry about that. About the connection loss. Device to see if it's up and running.
Is there another device that you could possibly choose, or is this particular device?
Yeah, let me. You can actually choose a different device here. It's showing saying that the device is not. It's not locked. So I'm just going to choose a different device to play back.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just going to choose this one since it's not available. So I'm just going to choose this one here and play back my test. As you can see, the replay back, the recorded script. Go to Yahoo, select the actual sport, and navigate to the sport page.
Good. And the application of what Angel's showing here in the real world, this is not, he obviously is not testing a native mobile application. However, most organizations, especially around the consumer-facing channel, if you do have a retail website or a portal, a customer-facing portal where customers can go in, maybe search inventory, place orders for that matter, you can build mobile center tests, automated tests around testing your product, your customer-facing portal, or perhaps your retail website with your shopping cart, as an example, with Mobile Center. So, okay, well, Angel, hey, thank you for that quick demo. Did you have anything else to add, or?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that the HP Mobile Center supports, like we mentioned, both on mobile web application, a hybrid app, and native application as well. So due to the breadth of time, I just going to show you the. I only have to show you the actual web application, but it's actually HP Mobile Center can support on different type of application as well. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Absolutely. Yep. No, thank you for that, Angel. And this was meant to be just a quick demo to show you how the two products can work in conjunction with one another. As I mentioned before, from a customer-facing channel perspective, testing out your retail website or perhaps a portal, a CRM that you might offer to your customers. Most of your customers are, if they're not accessing it from their desktop, they're bringing it up on their mobile phone. You'll see that a lot if you monitor, through Google Analytics or whatever tool you happen to use, what tool or what device your customers are using. Predominantly, you'll see a lot of iOS customers, of course. You're going to see Android customers and so on and so forth. What you can do here is within your device lab in Mobile Center, You can set up all of the the common devices being used, and then run through, develop your regression testing, your most common use cases. So perhaps a consumer going in, picking your top product as an example, taking it to the shopping cart, checking out, or searching on a common function that you see a lot of users doing. That's what we recommend. Using Mobile Center and UFT together, you can automate that particular test. So as part of your QA testing strategy, you can build that into your regression testing cycle on a monthly or quarterly basis whenever your cycles were to occur, and that would help trap some of these more high-value defects that maybe your team didn't see during their internal testing, but now you have it part of your regression testing suite. So if you're already using UFT as an example to run automated tests over your ERP system, you can now take it a step further, integrate Mobile Center with UFT, and start running some of those regression tests over your customer-facing channels as well, your retail website, your portal that's exposed to customers. So thank you for that demo, Angel. One other thing I want to share during this particular QA Tech Talk, and I know it was a fairly quick QA Tech Talk today, and we're actually going to expand upon this series, and we're going to talk about Mobile Center integration with network virtualization and also Mobile Center integration with ALM as well. We know a lot of QA managers and testers are heavy users of ALM or Quality Center, and you might schedule your tests from the test lab of ALM or Quality Center. So in future Tech Talks, we'll show you how you can use Mobile Center, UFT, and ALM together along with network virtualization to emulate different network conditions while at the same time managing your test execution schedule from the test lab in ALM. And as you can see, this is our final slide here. One of the things I do want to mention is that ResultsPositive has a Rapid Start program for organizations that are interested in moving ahead with Mobile Center. Part of that Rapid Start program is instructor-led training on the tool set and also integration of Mobile Center with ALM, UFT, and network virtualization. If you're interested, just go ahead and point your browser to ResultsPositive.com and reach out to us. We'd be happy to set up a tailored demo or a proof of concept for your organization and talk a little bit more about the pain points that you're experiencing and help come up with a tailored plan to integrate some of these newer tools that HP is offering in these newer integration points into your overall QA tools and testing strategy. So with that being said, Angel, I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this quick demo today. I'll be reaching out to you again here in the next few weeks, and let's go ahead and build on this series, and we'll offer our audience a more in-depth QA Tech Talk in Series 4. So thank you again, Angel. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.